Welcome to our podcast, Listen More to Better Speak English. We are thrilled to have you join us on this journey of mastering English through the power of listening. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced learner, one thing remains essential: the ability to understand spoken English before confidently expressing yourself. Why is listening so crucial? Think about how we all learned our first language. As babies, we didn't start by speaking. We started by listening. We absorbed the words, the intonations, the rhythms, and only after a significant amount of exposure did we begin to form our own sentences. The same principle applies to learning English. The more you listen, the more you internalize sentence structures, pronunciation, and vocabulary without even realizing it. By sharpening your listening skills, you naturally improve your speaking abilities. You'll develop a better accent, understand conversations more quickly, and feel more confident when engaging with native speakers. In this podcast, we will explore effective strategies to enhance your listening skills, introduce useful resources, and provide practical tips to accelerate your English learning journey. So get ready, stay tuned, and let's dive into the world of immersive English learning together. Welcome to today's episode of English Fluency Secrets. I'm Emma, your host, and today we're diving into a game-changing language learning strategy: listening more to speak better. And to explore this topic, I'm joined by a special guest, language coach, and polyglot, David. Welcome, David.
Thanks for having me, Emma. I'm thrilled to be here because this topic is so important for English learners around the world.
Absolutely. Many learners focus on speaking practice, which is great. But often, they don't realize that listening is the foundation of effective communication. Would you agree?
100%. Think about how babies learn their first language. They don't start speaking immediately. They listen for months, absorbing the sounds, patterns, and rhythm of the language before forming words and sentences.
That's a great point. So let's break it down. How exactly does listening improve speaking skills?
Well, Emma, there are 3 key benefits. First, listening improves pronunciation. When learners expose themselves to native English speakers, they subconsciously pick up on the correct sounds, intonation, and stress patterns.
Right. So instead of struggling with pronunciation, learners can mimic what they hear, just like a musician learns by ear.
Exactly. Second, listening enhances vocabulary and expressions. The more you listen, the more you encounter new words in context. This is much more effective than memorizing lists of words without context.
Yes. And hearing words in real-life conversations makes them easier to remember and use naturally.
That's the key: context. And third, listening trains the brain to think in English. When you immerse yourself in the language, your brain starts processing English faster, reducing the need to translate from your native language.
That's so true. And for our listeners, if you want to improve your English, the first step is to surround yourself with English audio, whether it's podcasts, audiobooks, or movies.
Exactly. And you don't need to understand every single word. Just focus on the general meaning and enjoy the process.
That's a great tip, David. Before we wrap up, what are your top 3 practical listening strategies for English learners?
Great question. Here they are. Active listening. Don't just hear, listen. Pause, repeat, and try to mimic sentences. Use subtitles wisely. Watch a video with English subtitles first, then rewatch without them. Shadowing technique. Repeat what you hear immediately, imitating the pronunciation and rhythm.
amazing strategies. So, dear listeners, remember, the more you listen, the more naturally you'll speak.
Absolutely. Keep listening, keep practicing, and fluency will follow.
Thank you so much, David, for your insights. And to our listeners, if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share.